They send out Zapdos and I send out a Starmie. This is the second game in my first ever tournament set. If I lose this game, I end up losing the first set and dropping the loser's bracket. I ended up loading up a team that I'm pretty confident in, and the resulting game was one of the craziest I've ever played. So turn one, leading up with Starmie, I like it because it has a lot of pressure. But one of the downsides is that Zapdos gets the jump on us. So I end up pivoting over to Celebi, and I take a Thunderbolt. It does about 14%, which is a bit on the low end compared to what Zapdos can possibly do. So I figured that, okay, maybe this isn't an offensive Zapdos, which is more likely to have Substitute. So I decide to go for a Leech Seed. So my team right here is a team that really centers around Starmie and Celebi. They both have the natural cure ability, which means that they don't take permanent status. They can always get rid of poison or whatever by switching out. And really the main breaker of this team is Choice Banded Tyranitar here. So Tyranitar comes in and sets up the Sandstorm, which means that the Zapdos can't heal with leftovers anymore. And I figure right here on turn 3 that my opponent doesn't want to lose their Zapdos, so they're probably going to switch to a Swampert or some kind of Rock Resist on my Rock Slide. So I go for a Focus Punch, and surprisingly, they end up staying in and clicking Roar. I'm not sure why they roared here. I guess they figured that maybe I would be clicking a Dragon Dance, and they really wanted to prevent that. Or maybe they just predicted that I would never click like a rock move here that would take out Zapdos. So they end up roaring. And they bring back in my Celebi, so the position is kind of reset, except now Zapdos is very, very low. So I believe I checked the calc and I saw that the Zapdos was very HP invested. So I decided to Psychic here. And yeah, it doesn't end up taking out the Zapdos. So 24% off of this Celebi Psychic. I believe the Celebi, I actually don't know if it's special attack invested, but normally Psychic should do about 30-ish% to the average Zapdos. So I believe this is Rest Zapdos, as you can see here. It goes to sleep. And now this is kind of a weird position because Zapdos is here, who can possibly just stay here forever. Though in this current position, actually, I can Psychic, and Psychic plus Leech Seed will actually outdamage Zapdos. But I don't think I recognized it in this moment. I thought, oh, they're gonna try to Rest Loop me here. So what I end up doing is I pivot back in Tyranitar. Though I don't think this is a bad play either way, because Tyranitar is really strong, but one of its downsides is that it's kind of slow. And when you're running Choice Banded, you want to run a lot of speed and a lot of attack, so you don't end up investing that much into T-Tar's bulk. And the Rock Dark typing also isn't that amazing defensively. So Tyranitar with a Choice Band is kind of weird in that it doesn't have that much. It doesn't have that much speed or that much bulk. But when it works out, it is really powerful. So Fortress ends up coming in on my T-Tar. I think maybe my opponent identified that I was Choice Band at this point. I'm not exactly sure. It's possible that she was afraid of a possible fire move on my T-Tar, and that's why my look was switched in. But I just fire off a big Choice Banded Rock Slide, and this is a really interesting position to be in. So this Milo, I believe 47 is about the average damage that a T-Tar Rock Slide does to it. So I could Rock Slide again here. Because T-Tar is max speed invested adamant, it does outspeed Milo by about 20 points. So I can confidently outspeed and then Rock Slide again. And if I get the flinch, then this Milo is as good as dead. As a matter of fact, I'll probably go down to the sandstorm here. If I don't get the flinch though, Milo can recover loot me, and eventually get a little bit more HP, a little bit more HP than I'm doing. But the odds are that I will actually flinch, and this Milo is forced to recover. It can't actually surf because my T-Tar will then take it down, because T-Tar will live the surf. So here it's actually very advantageous to click Rock Slide here. And I end up thudding into Claydol though. I'm not sure if you can really describe this as thudding into anything. We do a solid third to it, but because Claydol's a ground type and it doesn't get affected by Sandstorm, it heals with leftovers. And I just feel like I should probably be switching out my T-Tar here and not trying to Rock Slide the Claydol. That's gonna EQ me most likely. But instead, I get double switched on, and she goes into Fortress. So now I'm in a Starmie versus Fortress position, which is very interesting. This Starmie is offensive. It does have 252 special attack EVs, and it has Hydro Pump, so it can do about half the Fortress. Though I think most of the time it isn't a 2-co on it. But what I can expect from the Fortress here on average is that it's gonna maybe use HP Bug on me and do like 60-ish%. But it might not even have HP Bug, which is why I feel like staying in and clicking Hydro Pump is very advantageous for me here. So that's what I go for. I land and do 51%, and they decide to spike up. So this is another interesting position. So they're gonna heal up with leftovers, and now Hydro Pump maybe never KOs from here. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm thinking like, what's the worst they can do? Again, HP Bug is only doing about 70-ish% to me, and I'm feeling pretty confident to just Hydro Pump again, because I'm thinking, what's the worst they could do? I pump, do 51%, and they explode and take out my Starmie. Now this move makes a lot of sense for them, because they got their one spike up and they can blow up here, and now presumably I lost my rapid spinner, so I'm gonna have to play the rest of the game with this spike up, which is definitely gonna affect my Celebi and Tyranitar. But as you'll see, I actually have another spinner in the back. This is a really nice double spin team with Starmie and Fortress. And what I really like about double spin, especially on a nice balanced team like mine, is that it really lets you play volatile and take risks, like Hydro Pumping this Fortress. Now losing this Starmie is really gonna hurt, because this Starmie really could have been an important breaking piece for me. But getting rid of their Fortress and their spikes is going to turn out to be, I mean, very, very nice for me. So this is, hold on. So I find myself in a bit of an interesting position. I decided to go T-Tar here because I don't want to let their Milo recover for free. It pressures Zapdos. It can HP Bug Claydol, so that puts pressure on that. And T-Tar, as I said before, isn't that bulky and isn't that fast, so I kind of want to take my entry points whenever I can. So I decided to go T-Tar here. I end up in front of another T-Tar, and this is a pretty interesting position here. So in the back I have a Swampert, who's the usual switch into T-Tar. But alongside, I guess maybe not alongside Claydol, but still, I get a little bit scared of a possible HP Grass T-Tar waiting for my Swampert. Though on this team, I'd be willing to bet that it isn't actually going to be a special T-Tar, because they already have Fortress and Claydol. They're also double spin, but This is still a bit of a weird position to be in. My T-Tar can most of the time confidently click Earthquake into this T-Tar. I don't think this T-Tar is even going to be adamant max speed. That's usually on like really offensive teams. And Jolly max speed T-Tar is also kind of rare. So I think in most scenarios, even if they like attack me back, I think I actually live the average EQ from a normal T-Tar. They could DD, but then I could switch to Swampert. So I feel like EQ is the best play here for me. And I think she identifies that. I don't think I decided to EQ here. Maybe it was a bit too obvious, but I didn't want to HP bug into a T-Tar that was about to EQ me back, because HP bug does like 40, I think. Maybe it does like 50, but I still wanted that EQ damage. But to be honest, if I had clicked HP bug here, it may have won me the game on the spot. But I click EQ and I let their Claydol come in. But I identify this as a good entry point for my fortress. But then they double switch in their T-Tar, which is definitely interesting. I wonder what they were predicting. Possibly my Celebi coming in. I'm not sure. But they double switch in their T-Tar, and I think everyone has the experience of leaving in their fortress on unrevealed T-Tar, and then getting Fire Blast out of existence. So even though I'm confident that they are physical, I'm gonna not risk it, and I'm gonna switch out and go to Swampert here. If they did happen to be special T-Tar and Fire Blast my Swampert, I could hope that they weren't HP Grass. Maybe click Protect once a Scout. My last mon is... What is my last mon again on this team? I low-key forgot. Oh, it's Zapdos. If they are a fully special T-Tar, then Zapdos can also sometimes switch into that. But I was pretty confident that they were physical. I just didn't want to risk it. So I swapped into Swampert here. So I go Swampert. And then I double switch in my fortress here. That's right. So I call out their defensive switch, and I switch in my fortress. And I believe I rapid spin here. Yeah. Because this game is likely gonna be a longer one, and they have their own Claydol. I just want to focus on permanently removing the spikes from my side. So I rapid spin here. They go to Jirachi as their fortress counter, which is indicative of Fire Punch. Jirachi very commonly runs Fire Punch, especially on its defensive set. And yeah, Body Slam is also indicative of that. Same defensive set. They Body Slam my Zapdos. Luckily, very luckily, do not paralyze me. That's actually lucky for me to not get paralyzed, because Jirachi has 60% para chance. And I decided to go Celebi here. I think I just want to Leech Seed once on the Jirachi to put some pressure. But they double switch in T-Tar on that. I also didn't want to take a Body Slam and get parried. Again, Celebi has natural cure, so the paralysis is never forever. But they switch in T-Tar, and now that it's kind of a weird position. I don't know their set. Rock Slide is usually indicative of a physically attacking T-Tar. But they don't always run HP Bug on those sets. They're almost always Rock Slide, Earthquake, sometimes Dragon Dance, sometimes Focus Punch, sometimes Double Edge. They don't always run HP Bug. And even if they are HP Bug, my Celebi lives. So I decided to go for a Leech Seed on their Tar here. And I end up taking an HP Bug. I really did not want to pivot Swampert here, take damage for free, and then just give them easy switch to something like Milo or something. I didn't want to play too much on the back foot, so I end up clicking Leech Seed here. So I Leech Seed the Tar, get some damage on it. After the Leech Seed, my Celebi's at 25%, but I take a massive HP bug, which does 87% to me. And so if I can outspeed and click recover here, but it'll only put me at 75% after I click recover, which means I'll still be in range of another HP bug. So I'm kind of pressured to switch out here, and they call that pretty well and get a massive focus punch on Fortress. Forey takes 44%, which would normally be like horrible, but Fortress heals with leftovers and off of Leech Seed, so that actually ends the turn on 70%, and I get to take first spike. So now Jirachi is here, pressuring me with Fire Punch. Now that I know that they're not HP Grass, I'm fairly confident to switch to Swampert here and try to pressure it with Earthquake. I don't know if this was actually the best play, but I can't really pivot Celebi here while my Celebi's at 25%, because Fire Punch could KO from there. So this is actually a pretty difficult spot for me. I don't want to pivot my Tar on Body Slam either, and you get parried. It's pretty dang tough, but Swampert can do good damage to Jirachi. It usually does a little under half with Earthquake, so they Body Slam, Fish for Para, and they do get it this time. I Ice Beam here. I guess I was trying to call out... What was I trying to call out here? I guess I didn't want... I have a lot of recent trauma with the Rest Zapdos, so I guess I was trying to call out Rest Zapdos coming in and then looping me, and I thought if I Ice Beam here I could maybe get the jump on it. But Jirachi at full, at 100%, it makes sense that it would go for the Body Slam here. So I don't think Ice Beam, maybe it wasn't the best play here. But I thought the Zapdos switch was so obvious. So now I take a pair on my Swampert. She throws up a Wish, and I EQ. Swampert EQ actually does a lot to this Jirachi. So this one isn't physically defensive, which makes sense on this team. You need a good special wall here. So I EQ for 60, which is great, but the problem is that this Jirachi can Wish, then click Protect, and then get back to full. So it's probably not going to stay in here because Swampert is really scaring it. A crit can KO it. Even just Wish, Protect, looping. You can actually loop it because between Wish and then 2 rounds of leftovers, you're going to gain 62% every turn. Right? 62%, because 50 plus... Yeah, 62.5% every turn. So that is going to outdo the Swampert EQ, but you're just risking getting crit at that point. So I figure that you're gonna Wish. You're gonna switch. But after the Zapdos missed Ice Beam earlier, I'm not gonna take that risk again. And so I EQ again, and now we're in another Wish Protect scenario. I think maybe what she's hoping for is that I'll Para on one of her Wish turns, and then she gets a free Wish Pass to like Milotic or something. Because she's gonna Wish again, and then I get parried. Now she gets a free switch. Let's see what I do here. Do I try to double out and catch that? Yes, I do. I see. This is actually I'm actually kind of proud of this play. I end up catching the switch, or I realize that I can't stop this Milotic from getting the Wish. Even if Swampert EQ'd, it'd probably do like 20 to this Milotic, like 25-ish probably. So I end up switching on this turn to my Celebi as they heal up, and now I can outspeed and click recover. So I recover and Milotic clicks Toxic. Looking at the position, I don't really have very many great switches. Zapdos taking a Toxic would be horrible. Fortress can switch in, but the Surf damage does hurt. It does like 30. Maybe a little below 30 to Fortress. And that damage is gonna stick. And Fortress can't really do anything back. It can threaten with more spikes, but like, So I want to get a Leech Seed on this Milotic before I switch to Fortress, so that Fortress can at least heal back from the Milo, and now the Surf won't be that scary. And I obviously don't want to stay in and take more Toxic damage. That's just gonna rack up more and more. So I swapped the Fori here, and she swaps the Claydol. Now my Fortress, following the good Tetrafolium advice, Fortress should have a move to hit Claydol, and thankfully I do. I have HP Ghost, which does like 30, which isn't that much, but compared to what Claydol can do to me, it's actually pretty nice. Claydol can EQ for like 20 against me, but I'm out damaging with 32% Hidden Power Ghost. If this was like Hidden Power Bug, this might be doing like 48%. So she switches to Jirachi, which with Fire Punch is going to threaten my Fortress. I don't know if Fire Punch OHKO's Fortress, but there's not really anything Fori can do back to Jirachi. So I just Spike here. And now I need to switch out on the Jirachi that came in. Fire Punch hits my Celebi for 22%. So yeah, if I did switch in Celebi earlier, I would have been gone to Fire Punch. I would have been gone to Fire Punch plus Sand. So I need to recover here. Jirachi's gonna Body Slam me for the para. But Celebi is sitting here pretty confidently, and I can click Leech Seed to no punish. But yeah, this is kind of a weird position to be in, because I'm finding it really difficult to stop this Jirachi. Like, this Jirachi is gonna force out my Fortress forever and prevent me from getting as many spikes as I want. But still, as long as I have Celebi clicking Leech Seed on it, I can really neutralize any threat that it has. And I'm gonna forever just use Swampert to counter this. And oh my god, I swapped in T-Tar here. I guess I was calling out a switch on the Celebi. My Milotic doesn't want to switch into Celebi because I could still be like HP Grass or something. Yeah. So Claydol gets switched in on the Celebi, which, to be honest, Claydol also would have been scared of HP Grass. So maybe she was calling out no HP Grass, I guess. But anyways, I ended up switching Tar there like a maniac. I guess I figured that she would switch to something there. Possibly even Zapdos, I guess. So I end up having my Tar here, and this is actually a very pivotal point, because my Tar, if you look at her entire team, my Tar has potential to break every Mon here. Zapdos gone to Rock Slide. Milotic gone to 2 Rock Slides, as we saw before. Claydol instantly gone from HP Bug. I think it does like 70. T-Tar gone to EQ. 2-shot by HP Bug from here. Jirachi gone to EQ. So this is kind of a turn where if I get the choice band click right, I will end up breaking one of her members. And this is where CB Tyranitar really shows its power. So she goes Milo as I click HP Bug. If I clicked Rock Slide here, I would have actually taken him on. Maybe not taken him on, but this Milo would be at like 30%, and then she'd be forced to pivot in Jirachi, which I could possibly double switch on. And yeah, like a 30% Milo taking Spike is going to be very hard for this thing to ever switch in again. But unfortunately, I clicked Hidden Power, trying to predict the Claydol staying in. And I get the turn wrong. So Milo can now recover here, but it doesn't actually, because I guess that identifies that there's no threat. The only threat to like insta KO it is like Zapdos, who really does not want to take that Toxic. But switching in Fori on the Toxic is also not that bad, because now I can apply another Spike. So the Spike's pressure is getting pretty difficult. You really want to switch in Claydol here. She could opt to stay in and just surf down. I'm gonna get 3 layers up. So now the pressure for Claydol is really high to come in. The problem is I really can't let Claydol come in on me unpunished. So I go to Celebi here as she surfs. I could have gone Zapdos, but I think I was too scared. Zapdos would have ended up being a lot better. I could double switch in Zapdos on predicted Claydol here, but I think I'm also still a little bit too scared to even be doing that. So I just Leech Seed, which is a safe move here. Do I go back Fortress here? That would stop the Claydol pivot. No, I decided to click Light Screen here. Why did I click Light Screen instead of Recover? I think that was definitely a Recover click because the Toxic is kind of racking up. Light Screen doesn't really help against anything. I definitely should have clicked Recover here. This replay is also in part me trying to learn a little bit better. But now I can bring in my T-Tar, and this is nice. Another 50-50 turn. I think I most definitely Rock Slide here, right? Yeah, I do. I Rock Slide and only do 24 to the Jirachi. If I had a little bit more damage on it, I possibly could have broken it. But no luck. So I bring in Swampert once on it because I guess I don't want to take like a body slam or whatever. But it's obviously Wishing here. So I don't really know what that sequence was. I kind of just wasted a turn. But I do bring in Celebi on the Protect turn. And she's definitely going to bring in Claydol here, right? Yeah. And I have to recover now. This is why I should have just recovered earlier. That live screen was useless. I could have at least gotten a Leech Seed on Claydol, or I could have doubled in Swampert. Doubled a Swampert there would have been quite nice. I'm realizing now that I was playing this a little bit poorly. But now I have Claydol in front of me. And I don't even opt the Leech Seed here. Because I see, if I Leech Seed and then it like fully spins, I mean, I'm in a scenario where the Claydol does need to switch out, and I can apply Leech Seed to any of these guys switching in, but it doesn't look too good to me, so I decided to go for it on the Rapid Spin, and then just take my Spike. Claydol has to switch out because I out damage it with HP Ghost. Pivot back Celebi on the Fire Punch. And then I pop a Recover as I keep Fire Punching. They end up landing a crit on me, which forces me to recover again. Now I swap out back to Tyranitar on the Zapdos. This Zapdos has burned 1 turn of sleep, and now it's gonna burn its 2nd turn of sleep. Here's another Rock Slide, HP Bug, Earthquake gamble here. I gotta get it right if I want to break one of her team members. But it's pretty tough. I think she goes Claydol, yeah, and I Earthquake. Because last time she went why did I Earthquake here? Because I figured the Zapdos wouldn't be that threatening. I figured the Zapdos would switch out I really didn't want to bug into the Jirachi. Maybe bug was actually the better play though, because I at least would have gotten damage on the zap. Would have damaged even a possible Jirachi. I think bug was maybe the best play here. And maybe that's why I clicked Earthquake. Because I figured maybe she would think that I would bug here. Or maybe she think I wouldn't bug here because I bugged last time. It's always tough. That's a big downside of these choice banders. But the upside is the massive damage potential. But here, just go back Fortress on Claydol every time. The problem is that I'm letting this Claydol heal up. I believe earlier it had to take some damage. Yeah, it took some damage from Tyranitar Rock Slide, but it's just healing all that back. And I keep getting forced out by this Jirachi. I go Swampert this time and not Celebi. Maybe I should have been doing that from earlier. And yeah, this position sucks. Zapdos is gonna wake up and rest all over me. I switch out because, yeah, it could still have Hidden Fire Grass. Whereas Zapdos, most of the time doesn't have Hidden Fire Grass because it doesn't even invest in special attack to KO Swampert from high ranges. But it's still worth checking here because this is a longer game and losing my Swampert would be really bad because it does still have potential to break their Jirachi. I light screen here. I don't want to burn Leech Seed PP. Zapdos has pressure, so Leech Seed, I lose 2 PP if I Leech Seed into it. So I just end up light screening. I think this early into the game. It's only turn 61. I could have recovered here. Because if like something like Tyranitar came in here, then I wouldn't be able to take the bug if I was at 71%. So I should have recovered here. I don't think it's that late into the game to be trying to manage my recover PP. So once again, Fortress. We've done this song against a few times. I end up double switching Tyranitar here because she's gone Jirachi a few times. But this is actually a mistake because she can just use Protect and then scout out what my click is. I do get to force this out though. So I get Celebi back in. I think I light screen again here. She's probably gonna punish me one of these days with a T-Tar switch. I don't remember the exact turn of events, but I do recover now. And I think at this point I'm thinking about a PP stall angle on this Jirachi. So I pivot Swampert, who takes next to none. And I think I just Earthquake here. No, I don't even Earthquake. Yeah, I'm like fully committed to PP stalling the Jirachi out of moves. So I'm just stuck in front of this Zapdos. I light screen here. Light screen has 48 PP, so it's not going away anytime soon. Brings in my Zapdos. Offensive Zapdos tends to lose to rest Zapdos in my experience, so yeah, I just switch out. I don't know if she calls that or if this was just a defensive pivot. She could have gone Jirachi on that, but I think T-Tar is also fine here. Probably called out that I would actually switch to Celebi, most likely. And now there's another scenario of what do I want to do in front of this T-Tar? Do I Leech Seed? No. I pivot Swampert to take a massive Focus Punch. Yeah, that one definitely sucks. But I end up doubling Fortress here. Why did I go Fortress here? Hold on. So Focus Punch hits my Swampert. In this position, I'm threatening the Swampert with Hydro Pump or Earthquake. So Zapdos is a pretty understandable switch. I think Milotic is also a possible switch here. And even if I get it wrong and this tar stays in for God knows what, whatever reason, most of the time, no matter what, I can get a spike up. But against Fortress, against Zapdos with Fortress, I do want to switch out. So yeah, I'm realizing that this is gonna be a long game at this point. So I really don't want to use my moves. End up losing more PP. But I end up getting a light screen and then getting roared out to T-Tar. So this is another 50-50 chance here. More like a 50-50 chance because this Claydol is healed the full. So if I want to take out this Claydol, I need to hit exactly HP Bug into it. Let's see if I get it right this time. Switch to Milotic, I EQ. It does 42%, but without the flinch chance of Rock Slide, I think 42% was maybe a bit of a high roll. Well, if Rock Slide was doing 47, then EQ's probably doing about 42. But well, actually, I do have Light Screen up. Do I have to stay in here? No, I swapped the Fortress. And she goes Claydol, probably because I could have stayed in there. I think I probably should have EQ'd there. Because I could have high rolled EQ and maybe KO'd actually. Because I do outspeed. I think I forgot about that. I should have EQ'd there. But I guess pivoting in Fortress on a possible, I don't even know what, Claydol switch, I guess. I guess that does give me tempo. But she's going to switch to Milo here. And it's just really tough to break here. Because even if I double switched in Zapdos on this Milotic, I probably still wouldn't be able to break the especially defensive Jirachi here. I probably could break the Zapdos, but Jirachi I couldn't. So I'm just playing the long game here, and the problem with this plan is that Fortress only has 32 Spike PP, meanwhile Claydol has 64 Rapid Spin PP. So I'm going to lose in this long game. And if I run out of spikes, I honestly don't think I have the engine to beat her team. So it's becoming very evident here that I need Tyranitar to break at some point. I need to get a turn right with Tyranitar and break something on her team to be able to win this game. I don't spike here because I realize the PP scenario at this point. And I really don't want to switch in my Tyranitar on a Body Slam and get parried, because that would be horrible. If I get parried, I can't break Milotic anymore. I can't really break Claydol as easily anymore. It's just really tough. So yeah. At this point, this is a really losing game state. But because I've gotten rid of her spikes, what I can do is at least try to sit on the field for a while. But it's really losing, to be quite honest. I think in a world where she plays like perfectly, I think I probably never win this game. But let's see how it plays out. We go through a very similar song and dance compared to what we've been doing. I go Zapdos here, but again, Zapdos cannot break. It does 35 to them, which is breaking their rest loop, but it's still not great. So we do 47 to their Tar. Can pivot in my own Swampert. If they had Focus Punch here, they would have broken my Swampert, but thankfully, I got that turn right at least. And then I EQ crit their Jirachi. To be honest, this was really lucky for me. But I think also she could have afforded to pivot Zapdos here. Zapdos only takes like I think it's like maybe 27 from Swampert Ice Beam and can rest up. I guess you don't want to rest and give me turns, but yeah. I don't think pivoting in Jirachi on the Swampert was really a necessary move. Because, like, even if that didn't crit, this Jirachi would be too low to be able to wish up in front of Swampert. So you would have had to pivot in something. So you eventually would have had to... You could have pivoted in Milotic as well. I think that Jirachi pivot was a little unnecessary. Unless it was trying to catch like a double switch to something. But again, I don't think that's really necessary. I think most of the time, I actually end up losing this game. And, I think I lose this game most of the time if she plays perfectly. And I don't end up breaking with T-Tar. But yeah, I crit the Jirachi. Very, very fortunate crit for me. And she types, I think that's GG in the chat. But I'm looking at this game state and I'm like, I don't think this is GG. What's fortunate is that now there's nothing that can force out my Fortress. And my Zapdos is also looking a lot better right now. I don't know if I recognize the Zapdos point, but I definitely understood the Fortress point at this point. But I started to get a little impatient here. And you'll see how that affects my play coming up. But what you're about to see is also an insane turn of events. I get Toxic on the switch, which is to be expected. I Leech Seed the T-Tar, and I'm in a bit of a bad spot here. Because of the Toxic, I could recover up to full, but I take about 80 and then go down to Toxic, so I do have to switch here. I believe I go Swampert. I do, who barely lives the Focus Punch. We get to 29, which I think is... Oh, 35 after leftovers, which I think is out of EQ range. So do I attack here? No, I protect here. Protect was unnecessary. I survive EQ. I could have Hydro Pumped here. But yeah, we see Swampert being a warrior. Somehow getting back from the brink all the way to 41%. Thanks to Celebi's help. I pivot in Celebi here, and she realizes that Tyranitar is actually really threatening into my team. Fortress cannot hit it back. Zapdos can do a lot of damage to it, but it only does about 40% to it. My Tar can never switch into their Tar, even though it can threaten it. So this is actually a really bad position. I feel kind of forced to go Swampert here. I think she thinks that I don't want to go Swampert here. But what I'm thinking is, even if Swampert gets Focus Punched and taken out here, I can go to my own Tar and then at least have like a 50-50 chance. But I'm realizing that her Tar is just extremely threatening. Extremely threatening here. It may have been a mistake to ever even let this Tar in the first place. But when I think about my ways to stop her Tar from coming in, it's like impossible. I don't have anything to stop this Tar from coming in on my Celebi, right? I can't have Swampert in front of my Milotic. Fortress can't stay in front of my Milotic forever. I honestly could have gone to my Fortress in front of this Focus Punch now that I think about it. Because the Leech Seed is up. Why did I not go Fortress? I guess I didn't just want to keep taking a bunch of damage. Would be my best guess. I honestly could have maybe gone to Fortress. Again, this is my first ever tournament. I'm not that good. So yeah, we have this scenario happening. She ends up making a massive double. When people feel behind, they end up making insane doubles. But again, I end up going Swampert. I can never go Fortress if I don't have the Leech Seed up. Which is why I think I maybe could have gone Fortress earlier. But maybe because I had the Leech Seed up, I felt confident going to Swampert. That might have been what it was. So I take an EQ here. I don't know if I was in range. But this is insane, right? Like, Swampert's alive. If I click EQ or Hydro Pump here, this tar is gone. No, it isn't. It's actually at 4% now. This is kind of tough. I don't know what the exact calc is on this. 55. 59 may have been a bit too high to reach for, but as you'll see, this 10% T-tar is about to give me hell. So I end up losing the Swampert. 9% Swampert can't do anything anymore, but I can threaten this out now with Zapdos, who's looking really good. And I correctly identified that I can HP Grass here, because Zapdos can't switch in, it'll get KO'd. Milo can't switch in, it'll get KO'd. Zapdos is looking insane here. Like, Zapdos is about to sweep her entire team. Like, I've won this game, but the problem is Hidden Power only does 48 to Claydol. There's no high roll that KO's Claydol here. I figure that she must know that this Zapdos is about to sweep her. If I lose Zapdos, this 16% Tyranitar is actually going to be a problem, because my Celebi can't damage it. Fortress can't really damage it, because I have Hidden Power Ghost and not Bug. And my T-tar can damage it, but then I have to play more 50-50s with I guess my T-tar is actually about to win, huh? But not until Milo gets damaged is the problem, which is why I really need Zapdos up. So I'm like, she must explode here. She's gonna explode here. Zapdos is just about to sweep. Surely she explodes here. She pivots T-tar. Insane. Why? Surely if I just grassed here, I would have taken that out. Maybe her plan was to toxic my Zapdos and then try to loop with her Zapdos. But she would have had to lose another piece in order to do that. This is an insane turn of events to even think about. If she had blown up my Zapdos, I would have gone Tar every time, right? I may have gone Celebi every time, actually. Or maybe I would have gone Fortress every time and just blown up and taken something. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I think I have the game won from this position. I think I found a way to lose. Cause if she blew up my Zapdos, I go Fortress. I blow up. No matter what she goes into, even if it's T-tar, I'm blowing up. Because then I go to my T-tar. I actually know I lose that way. Because I end up taking a Toxic. No, that doesn't work. So if I lose Zapdos, I go T-tar and then pivot Celebi, I guess. And then let her tar in. It's very difficult. It's very difficult, but I think... I don't know what the best play was. If there's any players that like thinking a lot, feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think the best play was here. So I lead seed the T-tar. Actually kind of insane play to lead seed here. And not Rock Slide, but I guess I felt like I can't pivot in on this thing. Yeah, I pivot out to Celebi as she doubles Tar. Probably intending on sacking it, but now the leftovers on this T-tar is just too much. I can't let this thing heal. Even if I drop Celebi here, I want to leech seed this Tar. I think she probably... I guess she didn't want to end up HP bugging as I swapped to Zapdos, but... honestly, maybe I could have pivoted my own Tar here. And then had more games to play. Because if I pivoted Tar on that Rock Slide, I could have Rock Slide this tar KO'd it. Nothing is switching into Rock Slide here. But if it was EQ that it clicked here, then that would have been horrible. But I don't think it ever EQs here. But it did Rock Slide. But anyways, after this leech seed, I should be in position to click recover on Celebi, yeah? I could have recovered and then I would have been at 90, I would have lived. But I go 40 here. And this is where the biggest mistake is. I remember. Spiking here is fine. It puts on good pressure. But I'm so scared of this T-Tar. I want more spikes. I want more spikes so bad. I shouldn't have spiked here. I should have... I guess I understand why I did this. I could have pivoted Celebi though. I could have pivoted Celebi and recovered. But I ended up spiking more. 2 spikes because I want to take up their Tar. Don't want to let it in. Tar can't come in anymore. But I think I realized immediately that I just gave away half my fortress for free. And now I end up having to switch in Celebi anyways. And then I just let in Claydol for free. And I realized this, which is why I Leech said instead of recovering. But now I have to recover, and I let this Claydol spin for free. Horrible series of events. I should have just swapped here after one spike. And then maybe I could have tried to double in Tar to threaten out their Claydol. There was stuff I could have done, and I didn't do it. Yeah, bad play by me. And I could have forced a situation with Claydol where it needs to decide to rapid spin or EQ. Very sloppy play. I had gotten hasty because ever since I had taken out this Jirachi, I've been wanting to spike because I'm like, oh, it can't force me out anymore. Jirachi can't force me out anymore. But Fori can't. Fori still takes a lot from Surf. I end up not leech seeding here and ended up going to Fori because Fori isn't threatened by Claydol. Swap to Zapdos. Maybe trying to catch a pivot to Milo or something. Possibly, but now we're in the same situation as earlier where it's like, oh, they're gonna blow up. They're gonna blow up. And I think I make the same play again. She's gonna blow up for sure. She doesn't blow up. She sacks her Zapdos. Twice she's given me free chances to just take them on with Zapdos, and I've denied it. I don't know if she was having a different thought process or if she was calling me out both times on being scared. But had I either of those times attacked with Zapdos, I would have just won. Because I would have taken one of her pieces. And she really needs every piece at this point. So I Leech Seed, I miss twice, I take a Toxic. I'm like, wow, I really can't switch in Fortress till I get this Leech Seed. Because it's at 50%. And I can't switch in Zapdos to take a Toxic either. So to be honest, at this game state, if I didn't let this Claydol heal from half to 83, twice I've let this Claydol heal back to full. Ugh. I miss 3 Leech Seeds. I'm like, god damn. I'm about to take 25% from Toxic. I recover again, I take another Surf. I recover again, and I guess she was trying to call it the Zapdos here. Just really unlucky, unfortunate series of events to not hit a single Leech Seed there. It's 85% accurate, and I missed 3 in a row. But it happens. And I did get really fortunate to crit that Jirachi, and I did. So I hit in power here because I'm scared of the Claydol switch, and she must have called me out to click recover there. And I'm like, damn, this is really bad. I keep playing these games between Thunderbolt and Hidden Power. I do end up catching a Thunderbolt on this Milo, and now I'm one Thunderbolt away from KOing it. My Zapdos has the Steam for 2 more attacks, which is enough to take out anything. I just can't get this turn wrong in Thunderbolt into Claydol or HP Grass into Milo. I need to get this turn right, otherwise I probably lose this game because I just don't have enough Steam. And I Thunderbolt into Claydol. So this is pretty bad. I end up just grassing the Claydol once, and it takes me out. So now it's Tar back in, and the game is looking pretty over for me. I decided to lock into Rock Slide because it will Tuco, and I survived one Claydol Earthquake. And at this point, I kind of need this Claydol to just be gone. But the problem is, my Fortress is too low to be spiking up, really. If I ever spike up a Fortress, it's just letting in their T-Tar, which is a problem. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty bad. But because I crit their Claydol, had that Claydol hit me with 1 EQ, I might have been in Zapdos T-Bolt range, but thankfully I'm not. And now she has to go Milo in front of my Rock Sliding T-Tar. So now we're back to turn 123. We're replaying the scenario from the very beginning of the battle where I Rock Slid this Milo. I Rock Slide here, do 48%. So theoretically, this Milo could recover loop me. Right? It could recover loop me here, but nothing is ever switching in. It can't surf me. Well, it could surf me once, and then I'd be within Zapdos range, but I'd take out the Milo, and then it would be Celebi versus Zapdos and T-Tar, which I honestly don't know who wins that. It might be my Celebi and Fori, but she opts not to surf here. She recovers, which I don't know if that's the best play here. Because by trying to recover loop, you need to recover loop a bunch of times, pretty much back to full HP before you can live one Rock Slide. And it's just extremely likely that I'm going to hit a flinch, but I could also miss, and then if I miss, I'm in a really bad position. But I Rock Slide. I have no choice but to Rock Slide here. Like, this is the best position I could ask for. Like, if I flinch this Milo, I win the game. And if I let their Tar wreak havoc, I probably lose the game. So I have to keep Rock Sliding here, and I miss. And they hit me with a Toxic. Toxic instead of Surf here is interesting. I think the idea is that maybe... is it better to Toxic there? I think it's better to Surf. Because if I hit that Rock Slide and then I hit the next one, I'm still out of T-Bolt range, so I take that out. No, you should definitely Surf there, I think. But again, at turn 125 of a battle, you're really not thinking clearly. Especially 125 turns that have been very serious, right? Oh, hold on. So I had to change the music there for the very end of this battle. So yeah, I actually end up pivoting out here. That's kind of crazy. I definitely should be rock sliding still here. But I am in range to be getting recover looped. And my Celebi is putting on a lot of pressure with Leech Seed still. So I understand this. What do I click here? I don't recover here. You never recover here. I Leech Seed and miss again. This is like the 5th Leech Seed miss. Zapdos comes out, I Leech Seed again, and because of pressure, I only have 1 Leech Seed left now. Which is really bad because I need this Leech Seed to KO Tyranitar. So I recover here. I take the Toxic, and I need to switch out at this point. I'm getting out damaged here. So I need to switch out here. I go for it even though there's no spike up. And I'm like, okay. I need to blow up. I need to blow up here. My last move is Explosion. I need to click it here. But I do have the leeway to click Spikes once. So yeah, she's gonna Rock Slide, do 34. And I flinch. That's really unlucky. Because if I hit the Explosion, I would have taken out the T-Tar. And I would have had 1 spike up. Could have maybe gone for a Leech Seed on the Milo. I probably still would have had to go for hacks with T-Tar, but that flinch is horrible because I can't even blow up my Tar anymore. But still, I have no choice but to go to T-Tar. So I Rock Slide, it KOs from here. She's gonna send in Milo, and the game is pretty much... It's not completely wrapped, but she's gonna recover loot me as I slowly die from Toxic, and then Leech Seed, Celebi is gonna get hit with Toxic, and then it's over. So I Rock Slide, and I crit. I crit. I think I needed to crit, like, exactly then, by the way, because it's possible... She probably clicked Surf there. Because I think Surf 100% would have KO'd after Toxic. So I needed to crit exactly there. I got very fortunate in this game to crit exactly when I needed to. And, yeah, I type in chat here, damn, I got lucky. There was a lot of luck both ways, but I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I kind of misplayed this game a bit. But I take 45% from the Zapdos Thunderbolt. I'm not sure if that mattered. Of course, a Rock Slide would have KO'd. I don't know if Thunderbolt KO'd from uninvested Zapdos. But now it's a in-game scenario. Celebi versus Zapdos. So, I can apply Leech Seed here. And if I Leech Seed and then Psychic, I can beat the Rest Loop. If I miss the Leech Seed, I probably lose the game because I can't break the Zapdos Rest Loop. But I don't think I identified that at this point in the game. So the first thing I do is I just recover. I think I'm thinking about a possible PP stall in game. I don't recognize that I actually outdamaged the Zapdos. But either way, recover here is fine because I could get like Thunderbolt paired and lose the game, so recover is fine. At this point, I should probably be Leech Seeding here. But I just Psychic instead, and I do like half to the Zapdos, and the Zapdos clicks Thunderbolt. I was like fully convinced that Zapdos was gonna rest here and try to rest loop my Psychics. And if you consider that, I 100% should have clicked Leech Seed here. But now I'm realizing, oh wait, my Celebi is faster than their Zapdos. And I do 22% with Psychic. Oh, I won the game. Huh. So yeah, we will say G in the chat. She says insane game, I say yeah. And I end up walking out of this game kind of disappointed in myself. Feel like I could have maybe played a little bit better. But yeah, that was the second game of this set. I would go on to win the next game and win the set pretty decisively, but this game, 140 turns, it feels like I could have done a little bit better. But also, I am proud of some of the plays that I made. I got lucky in the end to win the game, for sure. I think most of the time I lost that game. I think there was some shaky plays by the both of us. But anyways, if you did tune in for 140 turns, as well as 1 hour of me talking about whatever, then thank you. Thank you, and bye bye.